beyond that basal layer, because again, if we're only getting it in the germinativum and above, that's going to keep turning over and it's going to lift all your pigment out, okay? So we're going to get it down here in this junction. So it's at the very top of that papillary dermis and right below that basal layer. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So because of that, you get the very fine, super hyper realistic hair stroke, and it's not deep in the skin, it's more superficial, so you get a very light natural brow if it's placed properly. And that's the thing we'll talk more about. It's critically important that you hit that sweet spot, because if we go too shallow, you're going to have that exfoliation, that natural desquamation that's going to just, take it off. But if we get too deep, we're going to have very funny colors. The color will fade out and things like that. Okay.
So you saw the example of it was too deep with the Lisa's. Mm-hmm. You saw that, right?
Yeah. So and you get blots. It kind of spreads out. And it doesn't necessarily spread out evenly, and that's a big issue. You get these blots all over, and then the color, because when we implant that pigment, it's going to have to show through the layers up above it, okay? So again, we're implanting at that dermal epidermal junction. We have the epidermis for it to go through, but that's like the thickness of a sheet of paper. So you're going to get that real true color that you implanted. If it's down below, the further down you go, and you'll be covering this, it's in your book when you talk about color theory, you are going to get, it's going to be cooler looking and almost begin to take on a blue look if it's implanted too deep. And again, you saw that. Purple. Yeah, almost purpley, bluish, grayish, things like that. So that's one of the things about the microblading, again, is that because we're placing it there, supernatural look, very fine individual hair strokes that gives dimension to the eyebrow. The other thing is, because we're not going that deep, the pain tolerance, the pain level is really not significant. So with most people, you can do the first hair strokes, the first outline and pass, without even having to put numbing on. In some instances, you might be able to do the whole treatment without numbing, but if you have to numb, you can numb after that first pass. But that's great too, because that really saves you and eliminates that 20 to 30 minute numbing time that you normally have to have with permanent makeup. And then the other thing is, without having to have so much anesthetic, you get better retention, better color retention. Okay.
Beautiful. What happened with
you'll
the pink?
See here, it will say the one drawback.
Must have left my at my house, so I was like, it's okay, it's permanent.
Don't worry